Good afternoon, everyone. It is April 16th, 2020 at 4:24 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm just going to wait a second for everybody to show up. Wanted to get this in before the press conference. Have to thread what I'm going to talk about today, too. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. This video is brought to you by a sponsor that has stuck by my side through this crisis, Noble Gold. If the coronavirus has turned your financial life upside down and you need help to sort out the choices you have to get back on track, you should talk to the team over at Noble Gold. They've helped hundreds of families through this crisis and can guide you back to safety and give you some ideas about how to get there. When you need a financial friend, Noble Gold will be there. They've stuck by me for a little over a year now. Great sponsor. Contact them at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Or you can hit the link that will be in the description box at the end of this video. Hey guys. Wow, we've got South Australia, Oregon. Modus is here. Hey Modus, good friend to the channel. Always comes in. I'm going to bring my other audiences in here. And we are going to talk about this video. This was super interesting. RJ, thank you so much. Hi everybody. Hello to Periscope, DLive, Facebook. Facebook's not there. Oh, there it is. Bring Facebook online. Actually, there we go. Okay. All right. Minnesota, Adam in Seattle, Beaverton, Oregon, New Orleans, Louisiana, Hendersonville, North Carolina, Britt in Michigan. Nice to see you back. Nice to see you too. Hello. Hello, everyone. Alice from Texas. How you guys doing? So good to be here today. 6:00 p.m. President Trump is doing an open up the country press conference. I am so excited to hear that. So awesome. Hey guys, hope everyone's got a little pep in their step this afternoon. So excited to talk to you all. So here's the thing. I got sent this audio clip. It's about a half hour long. So guys, kind of like dig your heels in. We're going to be here for a little while. And I listened to it because the title is a little bit misleading, in my opinion. And the description is very misleading. In short, this person, the truth is out there on YouTube. I don't know who they are. They uploaded this video to YouTube. It was on Podbean here. This is the original file. Small Business Association customer service representative agent breaks down Small Business Association false hope loan hoax. So I listened to it. And it's very interesting. Now, in the very beginning, I was a little bit like, is this real? But as the call went on, I realized it probably is. Can I confirm that 100%? No. So let's just go from there, okay? We'll go from a standpoint of this cannot be authenticated as far as, the call itself. However, it sounds pretty real to me. Real enough that I'm sitting here and I'm going to do a video about it. So you could take that. I love you guys too, especially in Southern California. Thank you guys. So I don't know if you've been paying much attention, but there are a ton of problems with the small business loans and the program in and of itself. A lot of people who've applied for them are not getting them. What happened is they initially opened it up. I think it was on a Thursday. I'm not positive. And people applied and sent their applications in and gave their data and all the reports that they needed for payroll and stuff. And then a couple days later, like 3 days later, they came back around and said, we made some changes. You guys have to all reapply again. And so then everybody reapplied again, and then they ran out of money, and a lot of people didn't get approved. A lot of people were told you'll have approval within 72 hours, and it didn't happen. It really, for as much as that I love President Trump, and I do, I don't think that this went as smoothly as he is saying, but I also don't think that he's aware of the minutia either. This sort of stuff kind of goes under the radar for a lot of people, and I know there are a ton of people out there who did get this money, which is fantastic. I know there were also a ton of people out there who did not. And so it's frustrating. So let's talk about it. This video is purportedly of a woman who owns a business who is trying to get a status update on her application and is calling into the SBA talking to the customer service representative that picks up the phone. Okay. The thing about it is, in the very beginning of the call, she mentions that it's Saturday, and I'm not sure. I couldn't confirm or disprove that this is the SBA is open on Saturday. I don't know. So if it isn't open on Saturday, this may be a big setup. If it is open on Saturday, maybe it's real. But I think this is important because it really does sound genuine. So let's just go through it from a very kind of objective perspective, right? So she calls up and she's getting tossed around to all different customer service reps. And finally they transfer her to like this tier 2 desk where she gets this guy on the phone and he takes her loan numbers and they're talking to one another. And he basically just has had enough of frustrated customers calling him or people calling him about what the status of their loan is. Administration, not association. I'm so sorry. You're right. I don't know why I'm saying association. My apologies. Small Business Administration. So she gets frustrated, and the guy, the representative, gets frustrated too, that he's having to tell these people over and over again that he cannot see their loan applications, that they're being hosted or cataloged by a third-party vendor, that the information is being held there, and that representatives that are there to assist customers in his tier do not have access to those databases. So that being said, that frustrates this representative because it's never been done that way before as per him. And then he goes on to say that what's happened is a bunch of people, what he's saying is that companies applied for this loan that were basically shell companies. So what he's insinuating is that these companies had a heads up that this was going to happen. And he says, it doesn't take a day to write this kind of legislation. This takes a long time to get together. So he's insinuating that people in Congress have told people they know to start a business for like $225 wherever they are, and then get ready to apply for this loan. And then when they apply for the loan, they will basically be disapproved for the loan because they don't have any history or payroll or anything like that. But written into the legislation is automatically when you're denied for the loan, you get $10,000. I think it's the grant program that they're talking about. So I'm not upset at all. Someone's saying you're getting all upset about nothing because you're talking about a government office and they're not open on Sundays or Saturdays. And I said that already. So this is floating around the internet with a bunch of disinformation underneath it, with people sharing what they are well-meaning people sharing things that are not in here. So my real point in sharing this was to let everybody listen to it, decide for themselves what they think. But if they're going to share it, to actually have what's actually going on inside of this call, not the stuff underneath, because it's not true. So if you're not interested in this and you just want to turn off the stream, you're fine. You could do that. Otherwise, I'd like to go through this for folks. So anyway, this guy is saying that he thinks, because of the way the loophole was written, that if you're denied for a loan, which in my research is not even true. These loans are basically granted to anybody except for companies that are like shell companies. Then you get the automatic grant. You get the $10,000. And they set aside $1 billion for those $10,000 grants. And then once they were gone, they're gone and nobody else can get them anymore. And then the second wave, now they've run out of funds anyway, but the second wave of loans are approved. And then if you were in that bulk of second wave of applications, then you would be approved for the loan and things would move forward. But this person, that's someone saying, wait, so I just started a company and don't have any payroll. If I'm denied, I get $10K. If you would have done this a week ago or so, or when they first started it, then that's what this supposed representative from the SBA is saying. Yes, you would have gotten the $10,000, which is why he's so pissed off. Because he's saying, not only are we not in control of what's going on with these loan applications, but because they can't see them, but there's this loophole that lets anybody who just formed a company before February 15th, 2020 get a loan when he's insinuating there's basically like insider trading going on. So someone's saying it doesn't seem like it's legit. I want you to just listen very carefully to the call because I think it'll answer a lot of your questions, because I sat and listened to the whole call and I had some concerns in the beginning, like I told you, but as the call the recording went on, those concerns kind of went away because you can hear it for yourself. It sounds like this could be legitimate. So I'm going to play this again with the disclaimer that I can't prove that this is an actual phone call that happened. All I want you to do is to hear it because it's an interesting angle. Now, let's go through some of the disinformation real quick. Okay. Someone's asking, you are supposed to apply through a lender. Why is there a government office in the middle? Because the lender is giving the money to the small business from the SBA. The lender is not creating this loan. The Small Business Administration is, and the lender is taking the funds for the loan direct from the SBA. So that's why there's a government agency not in the middle. The bank is in the middle. The government agency is on the top. I hope that helps. Hold on. You do have to show your tax returns and exact payroll now. But when it first came out, I know because I went through the process, that was not a requirement. So here we go. Okay, so it is Saturday. They are open on Saturdays. Anyway, so I hope this helps a little bit. So here it says, in short, to summarize, lady has been given the runaround about her SBA loan application. I'm sure that's true because her bank won't tell her anything and the SBA won't tell her anything. The agent helping her has a breakdown mid-call. I don't think it's a breakdown. It's more of a, I'm frustrated. Tells her the reason no one can tell her anything is that all loan applications are being held in a third-party database off-site. Pretty much true. Only the people running the SBA and Chuck Schumer have access, so he can't check on her application, even if he wanted to. That's not true. He doesn't say anywhere in the call that only Chuck Schumer has access to this database outside of the SBA. You'll hear what he says. He says that the Small Business Administration higher-ups have access to it, and the senators do. Says they're skimming the money to shell companies they own and not to trust anything the media says. That's not true either. That's not what he says. He doesn't say that they own the shell companies. He says that there are people that probably got a tip, so they knew to create companies, not that they actually own them. Shell companies have already siphoned off all SBA relief funding via the 10K grants by April 1st with the help of insiders connected to Chuck Schumer. This part is not what he says. They're trying to make this connected to the Democrats thing, and it's just, this is not what's in there. All other loan applications are outsourced to another vendor to prevent FOIA requests and keep in the dark. That part is not what he says either. He says that the customer service is outsourced to prevent FOIA. That could be possible. There's no money left for legitimate business owners. It was all stolen from the government in a highly organized and deliberate way. That's not true at all. What he's talking about in this call is the SBA grant program being abused, not the actual loan pool. So I'm just saying that this, in short, is just not right. And I don't know why it is. I guess it was just somebody trying to do their best. And there's that. So let's just listen to it. And I guess I might stop it. It's hard to listen to. The recording's not perfect, but let's go ahead and listen to this call. Again, if you just joined, this is purportedly between a woman who owns a business. The woman happened to work for the government for 10 years, and she quit. And a customer service representative at the SBA trying to help her with the status of her loan. Here we go.
They can look up your application.
Okay, thank you.
I cannot.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling the SBA.
Can you transfer to them? Oh my God. application number, please?
Sure. But
It's 2000-103-258.
one second, please.
Thank you.
What happened? You call me.
I'm sorry?
No, I was talking to the computer.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Wait, 2000.
Yeah. 2000-103-258.
Okay.
And then I also have the number for the EIDL loan as well.
Oh, okay. They're both, just for the future, they're both EIDLs. EIDL is Economic Injury Disaster Loan.
Okay, well, I submitted my loan on the 18th before you guys had that link up, and then I got an email like a week later that said for me to go on this link and apply for this, so I did both. But the first number I gave you is the original one, and I have the number for the second one when they had me submit that. So I don't know which one you want.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not. What I'm saying is that, like, they're both the same thing. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
The first loan you applied for is an economic injury disaster loan.
Yeah.
And so is the second one that the second.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. How can I help you?
Well, I just want to know the status. Like, I'm totally freaking out here, and anybody that I've spoken to that owns a small business is saying that they haven't heard anything either. And it says within 72 hours, and I'm running out of resources here. I don't know what to do. And every time I call, I mean, no offense to you, I know you're not the one that has answered the phone, but every time I call, I get a different answer. Somebody told me when I submitted my application, he said, oh, check your account in 72 hours. I'm surprised it's not there yet. And I'm like, no. So I've been checking. It's been today's Saturday. And I'm like, okay, no. And then you guys used to have a link on the website that I could click on to check my status. I can't even do that anymore. So then I call back. Like, I've been calling all morning, and everybody says the same thing. Oh, ma'am, we can't look up your application. We don't know what's going on right now. And I'm like, that's not fair. Somebody's got to have access to something to tell me what is going on or what kind of time frame I'm looking at that isn't BS. Because every time I call, a different representative is telling me a completely different story. I have recorded every single one of the phone calls. I can play them back to you. None of them make any sense. None.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. First off, these calls are recorded as well, and just so you know, for the future, or every phone call you make is public record. And all the information you put here, you give us, without besides like your personal stuff, is public record. So for the Freedom of Information request, I think it is official FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request, you can get all that. Now, the issue is the following. We really don't have access to the new applications. We really don't. That is not a like you were saying, a BS answer. No, it's not.
Well,
the first application the first application you gave me, I immediately was able to look at it.
What does it say?
I haven't told you any information on it. Okay, first let me get. The problem is, sorry, it's been a long day. I apologize. What is your first name? Oh, okay, that's not the name of the business. That's your name.
Oh, Consulting.
All right, no, but I'm looking at what is your
My business name is Consulting.
Right. One second here, please. Right. Okay, what is your social security?
661.
What is your zip code?
Wait.
Now that I've established your identity. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The second, the first application has been, all of the first applications before the 30th have been put into inactive. Okay.
Okay.
Once again, please understand. I understand your frustration. This is not my doing. This is not. I don't find this funny, and I deal with this call all day long. I started at 8:30, Eastern, at 6:37 p.m. And unfortunately, this is not the first time I deal with this.
I just feel like
Another thing is that this phone has,
everything everybody's saying on, on the news and everything is just all bullshit. None of it, like, I've talked to everybody who owns small businesses out here, heard anything.
I understand your situation. I've been doing disaster assistance for a few years now. We're in what is known as uncharted water. Is on the same boat. They did this on purpose. They have pulled scams to pull money out of the SBA, and I just can't go into detail right now.
No, I get it. Everybody knows, this is bullshit.
No, but this is much larger than you think. This is the SBA until this thing was a normal situation where if your house blew, I'm from Florida. So if your house blew away from a hurricane, you would come and you would get a loan and they would give you money to fix your house. My father did it in Hurricane Andrew when I was a kid in 1992, for instance. Now, I don't know if you're this may sound nuts, but you know who Chuck Schumer is?
Yeah.
Okay, he's on the floor under the SBA. His office is downstairs.
No way.
And I know it's...
No way.
No, yes way.
So
the problem is that the scam that I see all day long took so long to plan. You see, for instance, wait, one second, please.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, I have to say, good night. I just got good night. Now I can talk to you for real.
Okay.
Okay. I know it sounds crazy, but let me explain to you what they did in this $2 trillion that they signed. What they did was, and like I said, this took a long time to understand, and only top people would be able to figure something like this out. What they did in that thing, they put $1 billion to people who got denied. What happened? The $10,000 that you're seeing.
Right.
Okay. That came out on Monday. That's never happened before. I've been working for this company for this agency for a few years.
Right.
I worked Irma in 17. Okay. So what they did was they put that stipulation of the $10,000. So,
when I initially called, the people that originally answer are incompetent. They make it worse. They have no sympathy. They don't get it.
Those people.
I know there's a ton of comments flying by. I'm just pausing this really quickly. There's a ton of comments flying by that are saying this is fake, this isn't real, this is fake. I'll gladly stop this now and just leave this for you guys to listen to on your own so that we're not wasting everybody's time if it's not something that you guys want to hear. However, I would implore you to listen to the rest of this call because I explained in the beginning of the stream, I was at the same place as all of you are right now, saying the same thing that you are. Because it sounded just not right. But as the call goes on, he says things that only somebody who is doing this program would really know. And he explains things in such a way when she stops interrupting him that you understand that he has a very good grasp on how the program's supposed to work. I mean, let's take a vote. Hit a number 1 if you'd like me to continue playing the call. Hit a number 2 if you'd rather me just end the stream, and I'll give you guys the link. Okay, I'm playing it. Off we go.
Just so you know, that is an outsourced operator.
That's
which
what
has
I
never
thought.
happened before.
That's what I thought.
Those people do not work for the SBA. They are an outsourced thing. That way, they can't do
They don't know anything.
The Freedom of Information Act. No, the Freedom of Information Act doesn't cover that.
Huh.
Because do you see that how they told you you apply and
Yeah.
in 3 weeks you get approved? That's a complete lie. In the history of the SBA, a disaster loan doesn't get approved.
Yep.
Okay. Wait.
See, like, everything you're saying makes more sense to me because...
No, wait. Okay, yes, exactly. You on this side are seeing it. It is like, to me, it's the equivalent of, I don't know what your religion is, but I'm pretty sure it's a religion. It's like finding out that your rabbi is a Nazi. That's exactly how I feel right now, okay? Now, look, this is what really happened, okay? For the history of the SBA, you applied like you did. In your case, it was a 2000 number, and then it takes its steps and whatever.
Right.
Okay? Then on Friday, that stimulus package was passed, and in it they put only $1 billion, which is a lot of money, but let me finish, to people who were denied. So in other words, you apply for a loan. In this case, it's a business loan. You apply for a business loan. You're denied, and then you get to essentially keep the $10,000.
It says up to, though, right?
Well, yeah, it's up to, but it's $10,000.
Okay.
Now, that was invented on Friday. Let's see in the stimulus package.
Right.
Then what happens is on Saturday, then it's first come first serve, right? So because it runs out. So on Saturday the website goes down. And then Sunday, this new application, this streamlined application, which as you can tell, it's confusing on purpose.
Yep.
Because for instance, when you put your expenses, it says they're non-profit, just to throw people off. And there's other things. It's terrible. Okay. Now, what happens is that then the new, which is in your case, I think you're 3,600 or the 3,300. I don't remember at this point. But the new applications go to an off-site database that nobody at customer service can control.
What?
So in other words, yes, I do not have access. Imagine you call for a status check. I can't give you a status check.
So nobody in the SBA, what you guys usually do, nobody has access to it. So who are they out? So who's got it? Nobody does.
But except the top people.
Huh?
And the word is the top people, the top managers, the elected officials, and then they put in their top managers to run it.
So they give the money to who they want to.
Well, listen to this. So what happens is that now the order, we can't see it. I can't see the order. I cannot tell if, for instance, you're in the front of the line because whenever you told me you're at 2,000, so therefore I know. So then what happens is that Sunday that new application and the streamline and everything goes online. Okay.
Right.
So then now look what happens. If it's $10,000, or it's really $1 billion divided by $10,000, that's 100,000 applications. Okay? Those 100,000 applications, try to picture, these aren't people, these aren't applications.
Right.
By Wednesday, the free portion is gone. So in other words, between somewhere, somehow, by the way, since this is business, that is also for automatic decline. So in other words, you can create, I'm pretty sure you're aware, you can create a corporation for $150, $200, whatever it is, depending on the state, and then you fill out the application, and then you put 0 for everything. Boom, boom, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then the computer, the system knows enough to generate an automatic decline.
Huh.
But you just made $10,000 because they put a provision up to $1 billion that automatically everybody who was declined gets $10,000. So in other words,
so if I went back in there, pressed 000 and got declined, then I'd get it?
No, because the database was controlled on site and by used up.
Wow.
And yeah, that's the word that I'm using. Wow. And the thing
Dude,
is that
what is gonna happen? What is gonna happen to our economy? You know what I mean? Like,
that I don't know. I mean, I know it sounds crazy. And I'll be honest with you.
No, I believe you. This is.
You caught me at the breaking point. I'm gonna be honest with you. You caught me at the breaking point, and at this point in time, I don't give a fuck if I lose my job because this is so.
You're not gonna lose your job. I'm not like that. I worked for the government for 10 years before I opened my own business, and the reason, you know why I quit? I quit because it was so fucking shady and so dirty, and I said I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I went to school for law, and I couldn't stand working for the government because it was all crooked, it was all bullshit, and everybody was their sheeps. Like, they did anything that their bosses wanted them to, even knowing it was against the law, or it was, you know, something that they shouldn't be doing, or telling people false information, false hopes, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's not me. This isn't cut out for me.
Well, I mean, actually, my real name is Juan Carlos, by the way.
Juan Carlos, okay.
Okay, so I'm in Miami, by the way. Now, like I said, my issue is that I look. So you can understand. I only work disasters.
Right.
So I was in Puerto Rico for a while. I mean, that
you know what you're doing.
Mess, but that was just what it is. That was just a mess. Like, for instance, Puerto Rico was just it was a mess. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's a different work ethic and all this stuff. But this is a whole nother level. I mean, this is just. I mean, like, literally, they siphoned out $1 billion, and my you know, the funny part is that out of $2 trillion, they stole $1 billion. Who cares? But I'm seeing people like you. My father, well, he just retired, but my brother works for himself. My other brother works for himself. Everybody I know is in your situation, and the SBA until 2 months ago was something decent, and this is what I'm telling you. I'm watching this all day long, and the reason I'm telling you this is you can let everybody know this is just, and the media is a pure lie. They're making promises. When the moment you mentioned the media, I was about to say don't listen to them, but then I was just like, whatever, you know, just let her get it out. But like I said, I'm watching
bullshit.
this all day long.
And you know why they're feeding everybody this? They're feeding everybody this so the stock market doesn't tank. They're feeding everybody this so everybody's still spending their money, thinking everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be back to normal in a couple months. That shit ain't going to happen. Everything's going to hit rock bottom and nobody's going to have any fucking money left. Then what?
Well, my thing is, honestly, in my opinion, this is like I mean, whatever. You sound pretty much closer to my age. September 11 was bad.
Yeah.
This is more like a World War II situation.
Yeah, it's like a depression.
We're expecting over 50% of all businesses to fold.
That is so scary.
Yeah, that's why at this point I don't care if I lose my job, because this is I mean this. This is everything that I believe in.
Yeah.
Has just like in my eyes just turned to dust.
That's why.
Like I have put all of my. I'm telling you, as a kid, I went with my dad, you know, to the center here for after Hurricane Andrew, and he got money to fix his house and whatever. It was a wholesome.
So you had a passion for what you were doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personal
Same thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Same thing happened to me. I started off with unemployment for the state of California. I got all these promotions. I became an analyst for the prisons. It is so crooked. I mean, everything from UI to disability to, everything to being in the prisons. It was horrible. I walked away from the prison. I was done. Like, I didn't even give them my 2 weeks notice after 10 years. 10 years with the government. I said, I'm fucking out of here. Like, this is dumb. I can't even believe people actually, like, work for them and feel good about it. So I know exactly where you're coming from, and I hear you loud and clear. I know. And
well, look, check this out. You see the phone wait? You see how long the phone system is?
Yeah.
That's fabricated. Because if you were able to go online, which you did until a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and check the status of your loan, you wouldn't have called in.
Mm-hmm. There's no link anymore. You can't check the status anymore.
Right. They closed the portal.
Yes.
And the thing is that my problem is that I noticed. Okay, so you can understand. I've been home so basically for about a year. You know, because you work straight. Like I've worked 24 days straight.
Wow.
It's like almost like the army. Once you're deployed, 12-hour days.
Wow.
Until today I get off, and then tomorrow I told them I'm not working. They were like, all right, you know, I'm a bust. But you basically work, like for instance, in Puerto Rico, I worked 8 months straight without a day's off. It's great for the pocket, though, I have to admit, because they pay overtime and they
Right.
pay per diem. And as for the pocket, I mean, I'm not, feeding for the hungry. Don't get the wrong. I'm just explaining to you. But
Yeah.
so it's not so bad. But I came back, and on my second day of training, because they sent me to Buffalo, I realized there was something up. Because, like for instance, instead of like every other time, like the idle loan, that's not new. I've been working that loan for years. That's what I was saying. The idle loan, that's not something new. I was trying to explain to you. Now, I realized that they weren't teaching me the loan. They were telling me what to say. They were like, no, say this, say that. And then when the whole thing of when on Monday, really, because the thing came out on Sunday, but on Monday, I went in on my own, and I was like, what is this? This is a new application. And then when I asked, they were like, oh yeah, we came out with a streamlined application. In customer service, my next question was, okay, how do we access it? Oh no, that goes off-site. We don't know where it goes. And then I was like, and then ironically enough, since my brothers applied, the first question was, what do you mean you don't know where it goes? It has their personal information. Forgetting about the money.
Yeah.
It has their personal information. What do you mean? Oh no, don't worry. We went with an outside vendor.
Oh my God.
And then what happened? Now this new tier 1, tier 2 phone crap. I've heard. I called on my own, and I heard. They don't know, but I called and heard the skit, and the skit tells you. You probably heard it too. Well, it's approved within 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
They're just there.
I hear
to filter
everything.
the calls.
They're pacifying everybody.
It's fucking crazy.
The reason why, and the reason why I was recording it was because, like, I would call my friend, and I'm like, okay, apply now. And I'm like, he said within 72 hours it'll be in our account. And this was Sunday, right? And I'm like, okay.
They didn't tell us that. To give you an idea, they didn't tell us that the website said within 3 days the loans will be approved. That's impossible. And let me explain to you why. If, for instance, let's just say, using an easy calculation, right? Let's say you live in a neighborhood where every house is worth $1 million or more.
Right.
And then a hurricane comes through, and then you need to rebuild your house, and then you come in for a $50,000 loan. They can look at it and go, okay, that neighborhood is worth $1 million. Yeah, a $50,000 loan on $1 million house approved. Next.
Right.
The business one isn't like that. They need to analyze. They really need to analyze your business and audit it, and then come it's not.
If there's any funds left.
But my thing is that they wrote 3 days without telling us the face of the damn place, because you can't go online. So you need to talk to me, and they know that I haven't learned anything. And I realized really quickly it was, tell them this, tell them that, tell them like that. Payroll protection program was invented on Friday.
It's a joke.
And that's not a joke.
I know, but I went on Reddit because I'm asking, has anybody received any of this money? Nobody has. I'm not talking to people from all over the place. And then one person was showing like their denial from Bank of America and the reasoning why, and she said she's had numerous loans with them. She just doesn't have one open right now. They're all paid off. She's got great credit, and they refuse to even work with her. Like, yeah, they accepted all these applications, but they denied probably 75% of them.
Well, no, what it is that it's literally the banks using SBA federal money to give out loans. That's really what it is. It's SBA money, but they get all the profit, no interest.
Who's going to regulate though that this money actually goes to applicants? People are so crooked, especially the banks.
Yeah, well, yeah. Remember, it was an emergency to push $2 trillion. This is the most craziest situation I've ever seen, and I just blew up. At this point, you caught me right at the right time. I blew up. Fuck this shit, and I mean that. At this point, I'm like, I know I can't go to the media because the media is just
your job. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the media.
It's not only that.
No, you're right. The media is
part of it.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely, 100%. Yes. That's what I was telling you in the beginning. Like, everything that they're feeding us is all bullshit. It's all bullshit to have everybody go spend all your money. They think they're going to get money in a few months or in a couple weeks or in a few days, and then boom, we have nothing left. Then what?
I know that. I know It's not good news. I'm fully aware it's not good news. I'm just telling you the truth because you need to tell somebody. Because I'm telling you, I'm seeing this. This is just, I mean...
I appreciate it. In a nutshell, I'm probably not going to get shit.
The thing is that it's not that you're not going to get shit. It's that first the cheaters are going and
They're getting what
the
they
money.
want. Yep.
And then, yeah, they
get
did.
to
They've
skim
already,
off
like I said, they already siphoned. Just think about it. If you knew that if you were to set up a corporation, and then the funny part is the dates that when the whole application thing like applies to. You know, because you don't write legislation in a day.
Right.
Or something so you can tell that they all got together and say, if you start up a corporation today, and then you're going to fill out this application, and then you're going to get 10 grand. Oh, it's tax free, by the way, to make it even worse. So just think about it. You invest $150, you get $10,000.
So imagine,
and it's all it is a piece.
imagine if you were the top executive of the SBA, right? Do you remember all those people that pulled out all of their stocks, millions of dollars of stocks before?
So that's basically it. There's another 5 minutes or so where they talk about it, and he says how frustrated he is. So let's sum it up here in sum and substance, okay? I wanted to debunk some of the claims of what's in this video that are floating around because they're not true. And people are just sharing this link without understanding that the bullet points underneath the link are not true. That's not what is said in the call. Number 2, there's no way to verify if this call actually really happened between an SBA guy and this woman. Although I will tell you that I tend to lean towards it did. He is very genuine, in my opinion. Am I an expert? No, it's just my opinion. But really, I'd rather get out in front of this than let it blow up and not have any kind of input on what happened here. So I see where it's going. I've seen this all over the place today. It's all over Reddit. It's all over, it's everywhere. So you guys can think about what the guy's saying and the call itself and judge for yourself whether you think it's credible or not. What I will tell you is this is not this guy accusing Chuck Schumer of starting shell companies and stealing the money. This is not this guy accusing Chuck Schumer of being responsible for all of what he's saying. It's just that the summation of what this is not what is actually said in the call. And I don't know who these people are. One of the guy is Juan Carlos. I guess he's an SBA dude and a customer service guy. And the woman is a business owner who used to work for the government in the Bureau of Prisons for 10 years. And she says she quit because she got pissed off with all the corruption. Separately, in the beginning, you can hear him utter words like good night, good night. It sounds to me like he's stopping the recording of this call on his end so that he can speak freely. I don't know what's going on in terms of, I know a lot of people got their small business loan. I know a lot of people didn't get their small business loan. I know whenever the government tries to do anything, it turns into a cluster, regardless of who's president. God himself could be president and the government would screw it up somehow because government is completely inefficient and sucky, regardless of who's in charge of it. It's too big. It doesn't work. It sucks. So that's that. But anyway, I wanted to show it to everyone because it's going to be making the rounds and I wanted to show it to people to get out at least the description of what's going on clarified so that people understand it. And that's basically it. So, sorry if it pissed everybody off or some people off that I went through this, but at least now you guys can make your own decisions about it. And, you can share that it's fake or you can share that it's real. And I usually don't do this. I usually don't share calls like this that I can't verify, but I feel like this one is going to be making the rounds and we might as well understand what the guy's saying. And I've made a couple calls and reached out to some folks to see if I can get confirmation on any of this stuff. So I am working the story behind the scenes. But I just wanted to put this out there today because it was sent to me. And it was one of those things that's been grating on me all day. I've been super busy all day trying to get a bunch of stuff done. I'm working on a bunch of different stuff today. And it's just been on the back of my mind, like, you need to say something about this. You need to say something about this. You need to show. So I did. I work a lot like that off my gut. Sometimes when I don't listen to it, I kick myself later. But that's that. So if you guys appreciate the work I do and you'd like to become a patron, I would be honored to have you. You can find me on Patreon at patreon.com/TracyBeans with a Z. My PayPal address, paypal.me/TracyBeans. Thanks for listening. Tune into the press conference at 6. Governor McMaster from South Carolina just said that we are about to begin to reopen South Carolina, starting with boat ramps and waterways and beaches, accelerating the plan, implementing it within the next couple days. So South Carolina will be open for business ahead of schedule, which I'm very happy about. You guys have a fantastic night. Love you, and I will talk